welcome to Murphy's Garden. We're in the parterre, and for those of you that have been watching the videos, you'll know that I wanted to remove these ballerina roses that just weren't really performing in the way that I wanted them to, and I'm going to replace them with some other David Austin roses. These are Desdemona. So it's a bit of a thing taking out roses and planting new ones in their place, because there is such a thing as replant disease, or rose sickness as it's also called. So I'm hoping to avoid that by digging a large hole where the roses have been. They haven't been in here that long, they've been in here probably about 2 years. So I'm going to dig a generous hole right round them, and I'm going to replace the soil. I have had a large delivery of horse manure, so I'll use that, and also probably mix it with the homemade garden compost and try and take out as much of this soil as possible and replace it, and with a bit of luck avoid that. I have got mycorrhizal fungi, which will also help the roses to establish. So let's get to work. So it's interesting to see that the roses have, even though they haven't been in there that long, they have actually got quite a large taproot. I've started taking some of them out already in the other quadrants of the parterre, and one of the reasons for removing them is that I had this discrepancy in colour. I had some which were a pale pink and some which were a dark pink. So what I did when they were in flower was just to put a little bit of string round the stem so that I know which are the dark ones and which are the pink ones. And I've moved the pink ones, which I quite like, into the borders in the garden, and the other ones I'll probably just pot up for now and see if anyone wants them. So that's it out. So it has got quite a bit of a taproot going on there. So what I'll do is just prune this right down and then just pop it in a pot and decide what I'm going to do with it at another time. So this is the area that I've moved the ballerina roses to. So I've got a clump this side and that side, and these are the pale pink ones. And I've got some plants that will look quite nice in contrast. I've got the big eupatorium that I've thinned out a bit, and then I've got this salvia amistad, so lobelia, the persicaria, some other salvias, and penstemon and things. So I'm hoping it will look nice, but we'll just have to see. We won't really know till next year. So these are the ballerina roses that we've potted up. So the roses have arrived, and we've got to get on and get them in. I did put them into soak when they arrived, so they've been soaking for quite a while, and then I worried that they might rot, so I've put them in the middle of the manure pile. It's nice, well rotted manure, and it's not hot or anything, so it's been in there sort of the last 2 days. So before I plant, I might just go and get them and put them in to give them another good soak. Now unfortunately I've managed to hurt my lower back. No prizes for guessing how, digging all these holes. So I've got my daughter Olivia who's coming to help me. She's going to do most of the work. So if you think I'm very lazy standing pointing at things, that's the reason why. So we're going to crack on. Now I just brought out, this is the rose that I bought in the summer. So this is the Desdemona rose that we're planting. This is obviously a pot grown one. The one that we've had delivered, sorry, the 16 that we've had delivered are bare root roses. But I just wanted you to see what they look like. And this one's flowering again. It's really, really lovely. So I think it's going to be good. This one I'm not going to put in today because it's not quite so urgent that goes in. So we're just going to get the bare root ones in today. When they came with a very generous supply of mycorrhizal fungi. 1, 2, 3, I think there's about 5 in there. So we're going to put that in the planting hole. Now with the risk, as I said before, the risk of replant disease, what we've done, so we've dug the hole, and you can see some cardboard boxes behind me. The idea, the research has shown that the plants need to be in contact with the mycorrhizal fungi for 6 weeks so that they can combat any disease in the soil, so the fungi and the bad bacteria in the soil that cause the replant disease. If they've had contact with the mycorrhizal fungi, they should get off to a good start. So there is good evidence to show that if you plant it in like a wine box, a cardboard wine box, then the plant gets established, it gets bigger, and once it's established it won't have a problem if it encounters diseased soil. So we're doing several things. We're going to remove any excess soil. So we have got some piles of soil here that need to come out, and then we're going to line the hole with cardboard, and then we're going to plant the roses in the mixture of garden compost and this nice farmyard manure, and fingers crossed, I hope that they will thrive and survive. So let's get to work, or rather Livia get to work. So here we are by the manure pile. So we've got quite a good amount here, and these are the roses. So I just lightly sort of buried them a little bit. So I'm just going to push the soil off them, and then they're still bundled up. So you can see that 16 roses, it's not as big as you might think. So that's them. So what I'm going to do is just put them in some water. They have been soaking. They soaked for about 24 hours, but I'm going to just put them, just while we're preparing everything, I'm just going to put them in a big thing of water just to give them another soak. So I'll just put these in the water, and they can just sit there while we're preparing the ground. So that's the first rose planted, and we've put 2 wheelbarrows full, one of the manure and one of the garden compost. So we've done it in a kind of like lasagna effect, and also just put mycorrhizal fungi, sprinkled it around the roots, but also just done a little bit more in the soil as well. So well done, Livia, only another 15 to go. Poor girl. Bare root season runs from November to April, and the advantage of planting roses bare root is that they're a lot cheaper. In the 2021 David Austin catalogue, a bare root rose is £19.50 compared with £27 for a pot grown rose. If you're buying in bulk, then this price is further reduced, and there are usually some really good offers available. One of the reasons they are cheaper is that the cost of transportation and packaging is so much less, which means it is also the most eco-friendly way of buying roses. They are delivered in a cardboard bag or plastic-free packaging with no soil or foliage, leaving their roots and stems bare. Despite their underwhelming initial appearance, they establish incredibly quickly and will flourish in time for summer. Potted roses come in a 6-litre recycled plastic pot and can be planted at any time of the year. Before you begin planting, it is necessary to rehydrate your rose. Soak bare root roses for at least 2 hours before planting them. For pot-grown roses, simply water generously with a watering can. If, like us, you're planting a rose where a rose has been, then it is a good idea to remove as much of the old soil as possible. Research shows that mycorrhizal fungi can combat rose replant disease, but it should be in contact with the rose at least 6 weeks before it encounters the contaminated soil. And so, for this reason, all David Austin pot-grown roses have had the addition of mycorrhizal fungi at the time they were potted. So this is much less of a problem for pot-grown plants. If, like us, you are growing bare root roses, then it is recommended to plant the rose inside a wine box. This will allow the roots to be in contact with the mycorrhizal fungi for at least 6 weeks before the box disintegrates and it encounters any contaminated soil. We are using cardboard boxes as an alternative to wine boxes because if we drink 16 boxes of wine, we will be in no fit state to stand up, let alone plant some roses. If you're planting roses in soil which has not had roses growing there before, then this is not necessary. Simply dig over the soil with a garden fork and remove any weeds or large stones, and then dig a hole in the centre of your spot, 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres. Add a spadeful of soil improver such as well-rotted manure to the base of the hole. Remove the rose from the water or from its pot and sprinkle the roots with mycorrhizal fungi. Position the rose into the hole so that the stems are about 5 centimetres below the top of the hole. To finish off, backfill around the roots of the rose using a mix of soil improver and the soil, and lightly firm with your foot. Water generously. So that's all 4 planted in this quadrant. You can just see the outline of the box, but I think that's going to work really, really well. And then Olivia's now just watering each one. Really good water, so probably half a watering can each. She's done a cracking job. Did you enjoy that, darling? And she's about 2 inches taller because she's got all this manure on the bottom of her boots. And Murphy's helped out, haven't you, Murphy? Murphy! By constantly wanting his ball thrown, which is a pain. And that's it done. So it's taken quite a long time, I must admit, but we have done it really thoroughly, haven't we? Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they will do very well. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're like next summer. So thanks so much for watching. Join us again in the next video. Bye for now.